Hello and welcome. Les doy la más cordial bienvenida a esta sesión del Consejo Británico. And it is a great pleasure and an honor for me to introduce, first of all, Brian Young, who is the director of the British Council in Mexico. Over to you, Brian. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. And hello, everyone. Good afternoon to all of you in the UK. Thank you very much, first of all, for this invitation. It's a real pleasure for us to be here for UNAM International Week. Just to introduce myself again, my name is Brian Young. I'm the country director for the British Council in Mexico, and I'm being joined here today by two colleagues from the office. One is Jessica Swan, who's our senior manager for higher education for the Americas, and Rodrigo Bueno, who is our head of higher education in Mexico. So just to kind of start, really, just a quick introduction really to what the British Council is. The British Council is an organisation that was set up to build connections, understanding and trust between people in the UK and other countries through arts and culture, through education and the English language. So we work in more than 100 countries globally. We work with individuals, with other organisations, with governments, to create opportunities, benefits between countries, and to promote Britain and English language, British culture, arts and education, as I previously said. In Mexico specifically, we've got two separate parts of the British Council. One focuses on the commercial side of the organisation. So this is our teaching centre where we deliver English language classes to adults and young learners. And also exams. So, for example, if you want to take exams to study abroad, to emigrate, to take English language qualifications, so that's IELTS or the Cambridge suite of qualifications. You can also do that at the British Council. So that's the kind of commercial side. The other side is the side of the British Council that focuses on cultural relations, and this is the part that's funded by the British government. So we work in collaborations with other organisations here in Mexico. We work very closely with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Culture in Mexico. And we've been working in Mexico since 1943. So every year we connect with thousands of students, policymakers, academics, creatives, entrepreneurs in Mexico. And the focus of our work really, as you can see on the slide, is these two main areas. Really, it's supporting young people to achieve their education, qualifications and skills needed to reach their potential in their future careers. And the other part is creating and developing new networks and platforms to give young people a voice in society. So this is what we're going to be talking a bit about today. So I'm going to shortly hand over to my two colleagues to explain a bit more about all of these different areas. But we're going to be focusing mainly on our work in higher education. So we do a lot more in the British Council here in Mexico. However, we will be focusing on higher education today. So this is the agenda that we're going to be looking at. So first of all, we're going to be looking about, I've just talked about what the British Council does in Mexico, but we'll focus more on the higher education program going forward. We'll talk a bit more about international student mobility to the UK. Study UK, our Alumni UK programs, our great scholarship programs, Women in STEM scholarships. Then we'll move on to some of the programs that we're currently running in Mexico in higher education. So that's looking at our Mentoring for Women in STEM program, our Skills for Techs program. And then we'll finally talk a bit about the MRQ, so that's Mutual Recognition of Qualifications, and the future of transnational education in Mexico. So just quickly to set this up, our higher education program in Mexico does focus on a number of areas. So a couple of these are mentioned here. So supporting women in STEM, student mobility to the UK, Alumni UK, mutual recognition of qualifications. And so I'll hand over now to my two colleagues. First of all, I think it's going to be Jessica who's going to be speaking, and she'll give you a bit more information about some of the areas that I've just spoken about there. She'll then hand over to Rodrigo Bueno, who will then explain a bit more about the program specifically in Mexico. And then there'll be an opportunity at the end for a question and answer session, so we can answer some of your questions that you might have, either of the content of the presentation that we're about to go through, or anything else really that's related to the British Council. So do think about any questions that you would like an answer to, put them in the chat or whatever, and we'll answer them at the end. So over to you, Jessica.
Super, thank you, Brian. So as Brian just said, I'm going to start off with a quick update on international student mobility to the UK from Mexico. So for Mexican students, the UK is the third most popular country to travel to study to, after the USA and Canada. And actually, we've seen that student visa applications have recovered to the sort of pre-pandemic levels, which we're really pleased about. Although we have noticed a trend that over the last 5 years, there's been a decline in students choosing the UK at postgraduate level, although that's been kind of balanced out with some growth at undergraduate level study. The top subject areas that Mexicans choose when going to the UK, these have been pretty consistent over the last few years. But the number one is business and management, then social sciences, engineering and technology, creative arts and design. That's one that actually has increased over the last few years. That was a new entrant in the top 5. And combined studies, which is where, particularly at undergraduate level, you might choose to do, for example, business with French. You're at undergraduate level, you can combine different areas of study into one degree. And indeed, a new, quite exciting going forward, is the graduate route, which is the new post-study visa for the UK. So I'm going to just talk you through some of the basics if you haven't heard of this. So the undergraduate route is open to all international students who successfully complete their degree from the 1st of July last year, so just over a year ago, onwards, or just under a year ago rather. So what this means is that after you've studied either undergraduate, master's or PhD level study in the UK, you can apply to stay in the UK for a maximum period of 2 years if you studied undergraduate or master's postgraduate. Or if you've done a PhD, then you can apply to stay for 3 years. Now, something that's really cool about this visa is you don't need to have a job already secured when you apply. You can use that time to find a job, whether that's, you know, obviously ideally a skilled job in the area of your studies. And you, just to clarify, so you must have completed your a degree at undergraduate level or above, with a higher education provider on the kind of official UK higher education provider list. But that's it. So it's a really exciting change to the UK higher education landscape, and means that, yeah, you can choose to stay in the UK for 2 to 3 years without needing to have found a job before applying for that visa. So I just wanted to share that with you in case it was something new. There's a link there at the bottom of the page, bottom of your screen, for more information on the graduate route if you're keen to find out more. Indeed, that link was for information that's hosted on our Study UK website. So this is one area of work that we lead as the British Council in the area of higher education, particularly to support student mobility. So the campaign is funded by the UK government and the British Council together. It's mainly focused on the Study UK website, where there is just heaps of information, everything you could need to know really about studying in the UK. So if you are keen, then that's the kind of a great first port of call that we would recommend. And indeed, in Mexico, we've delivered numerous presentations under Study UK brand, and actually, and we've had various international fairs. Maybe you've been to one in the last few years. We've not obviously run them in the last couple of years because of the pandemic. However, going forward, we are looking to run some localized activities for Mexican students, as well as really focusing on our work to support education agents and the latest insights on UK education. Another new program that I'm pleased to talk to you about today is Alumni UK. So this would be if you've already studied in the UK, but not necessarily your full degree. So you might, if you've studied in the UK for anything from a semester to a year to your full degree, you are eligible to apply to join Alumni UK. So what is Alumni UK? It's our new global program for UK alumni to help to connect UK alumni to join the professional network, to continue to learn and share your experiences. There's going to be opportunities for capacity building courses, learning, advancing your career, attending industry events and masterclasses, and obviously being part of that that particular network. We think is going to be really valuable for for career advancement. So in Mexico, we've got planned some campaigns and activities to engage any UK alumni. We're hoping to run some in-person events, probably towards the end of this year or early next year, once we've kind of built that network up, giving you the chance to join, to meet, to attend special lectures, even maybe some courses offered by UK universities. So if you've studied in the UK for, again, any amount of time from at least one semester in terms of duration, then go to the website that's on the slide, and you can find out more information and sign up to our emailing list. There's going to be a big platform as well launched later this year. So again, that's a new program that we're really excited to be leading. So yes, if you are a UK alumni, hopefully that sounds exciting and interesting, and we will be seeing you at some events later this year. Next, I want to talk to you about the Great Scholarships, and these are run, again, this is under the kind of Study UK campaign, jointly funded by the British government's Great Britain campaign and the British Council, with also some additional funds from UK higher education institutions. The aim is to widen access to UK education and provide opportunities to students. Applications open each year in October, and over the last 2 years, we've had, so the first cohort are just finishing their master's studies right now. The next cohort is being finalised right at this very moment, I believe. And for starting studies in September, October. And I have just had the confirmation late last week that the Great Scholarships are going to be on offer again in Mexico next year. So if you're keen to study a master's in the UK, keep an eye out on the Study UK website. There's a page for Great Scholarships. And yeah, have a look at the courses that will be on offer next year from the participating universities. So yeah, really excited to be able to confirm that that will be going forward for another academic cycle. And then this is the final piece from me. So I just want to talk to you briefly as well about another scholarship that we've provided in Mexico, which is the Women in STEM, scholarships. So this is a global program designed to encourage, designed to increase opportunities for women to study at a master's level in a STEM area. So why are we doing this, particularly for women? Well, according to data from UNESCO, fewer than 30% of researchers worldwide are women, and only 30% of female students in Mexico select STEM-related fields in higher education. So it's a bit of a serious situation. We want to make sure that women have got equal opportunities, and which is why we created this scholarship. So this scholarship funds it's a full bursary, so it's not just your tuition fees, but it includes your living costs, visa costs. I think there's a flight as well included, one return flight. And so it's a really comprehensive scholarship. And currently there are 13 Mexican scholars who will be finishing their masters at this moment. And for the next next year, so for starting in September, October, there's going to be between 10 and 15 scholarships awarded to Mexican women. Going forward, this scholarship, the funding is currently still under approval, so I can't tell you exactly what scholarships will be on offer for the next academic cycle, so that'll be starting in 2023. But we just wanted to tell you about this scholarship that we have offered under our Women in STEM program. And now actually that is nicely, I'm going to introduce you now to my colleague, Rodrigo Bueno, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about the our wider programs in higher education. Rodrigo.
Thank you, Jess. Hello, everyone. Well, following up with our activities of the Women in STEM, the specific programs we're implementing in Mexico in the framework of the Going Global Partnerships and the EDI, the Equality, Diversity and Inclusion Agenda of the British Council, we are focused on women and women in STEM in particular. The first program we are implementing in Mexico, it's called Mentoras en la Ciencia, or Mentoring for Women in STEM. And we launched this program in Mexico and Peru. And in particular in Mexico, we launched this program selecting, well, we wanted to prepare to build capacity on mentoring for women scientists, senior scientists in Mexico, that at some point will implement that knowledge by mentoring. So we formed 120 senior researchers on 4 areas, the physics and mathematics and earth sciences, the biology and chemistry, biotechnology and agropecuarial sciences, and engineering, following the classification of SNI, which is the National Research System of Mexico. So we formed those mentors, and then actually they are implementing mentoring for young career researchers to help them to develop her career and to being able to advance on the obstacles they could find in their career. For this program, we address a population of almost 500 women scientists, and we have an excellent feedback. And for the next this financial year that just started in April, we will be launching a call and recruiting more mentors. And we will be preparing another generation of mentors and implementing with mentees. The next slide, please, Jess. Thank you. So, well, that program, it's designed for scientists. The other program is focused on employability and technology. So with this, we created and designed a boot camp for programming for software development skills, and we are training a population of around 500 women for 7 months. It's very intensive. It's 4 hours a day, or sometimes more, because homeworks and practices and everything. And the idea is that this will help for those women to re-enter or enter to and get qualified jobs in the tech industry by programming. Actually, some IT companies has approached us looking for this talent, so that speaks about the impact of this program. This program is addressed for any women, so it doesn't matter about their careers, their fields. They are actually, we have some women from arts or creative industries or other backgrounds, humanities, social sciences, that want to learn programming. So for this year, we will be launching different calls, but I think it would be of interest for any woman that would like to learn about software development. Well, that on the part of the program we are already implementing. So now about the other activities following on the framework of internationalization of education, we are implementing, well, we were part of the follow-up of the agreement. If you didn't know, Mexico has an agreement with the UK for recognizing any qualification that of both countries. So this agreement conversation started in 2014, and it was designed, and there was a research and workshops to understand both systems at how to create a synergy and understand how an agreement could work. And in 2015, the agreement of recognition, the official name is recognition of titles, diplomas, and academic degrees in higher education. The acronym we use is mutual recognition of qualifications. What qualifications are comprised? Are diplomas, undergraduate studies, actually a whole diploma or partial studies could be recognized, and masters and PhDs. So it covers the whole tertiary education offer to be recognized for both countries. It was ratified in 2018 by the Mexican Congress, and at the same time was ratified by the UK. So with this, the meaning of this is that you can, if you are Mexican, you can get and you study in the UK and you get a degree or a postgraduate, you do a master or a PhD in the UK, you can get a cédula profesional. I mean, this title will be recognized as equally as a Mexican title, so you can, or Mexican diploma, so your degree is valid in Mexico, and the other way around in the UK. So this creates the framework for to enhance transnational education, the legal framework. Also, on discussing what are the future, of course, as Jessica mentioned, and as you have seen on the programs, the UK government has an international education strategy with very specific components. And in the case of Mexican governments, we don't see such a comprehensive agenda for internationalization of higher education. However, we have identified that higher education institutions, the system, they are implementing many programs and activities for their internationalization strategy. So I would like to mention this because sometimes that creates the framework to follow up on which activities on this subject are being implemented by the institution, or that's a way to search for opportunities between universities. No, of course, there are international cooperation agreements between institutions. There is an active search for internationalization of the curriculum. There cover academic migration, repatriation, and reconnection programs, like the alumni program. It's a program that it's a good example of this. Also, to address the brain drain, as in Spanish it's called the fuga de cerebros. So there are programs that want to address this program and to to avoid this situation. No, also to create, and that was has a great impulse during the pandemic to generate a stronger international networks. Also, the transnational provision of educational services. The virtual programs that were developed and recognized during the pandemic are proof of this. No, the recognition of degrees. No, like the agreement I mentioned before, and this all this framework helps to foster the mobility of academic staff, the participation on international cooperation projects like the Newton Fund program or other program to develop joint programs for research, for international cooperation, just to approach higher education institutions. Of course, the teaching of a second language, in particular English, as it is called the language of knowledge and the language of science. So, many institutions, even the British Council, we want to enhance the English as a tool, as a knowledge to communicate science, no, and to approach higher education institutions. Well, and thank you. Finally, some recommendations, some what we see for the future of transnational education are the following, no? Which are not happening yet or are just starting, but we see this as a path to follow for the future of TNE. The 4 recommendations are engaging with British companies. So this link between industry and university in general, which is something that universities worldwide are working and promoting, working together with the industry. So this could help actually to enhance and to create stronger links with between Mexico and UK institutions. Next recommendation, it's the strategy to develop the higher education system from Mexico, and we can help with our programs to create those links. Also to have programs for staff development and generate data in order to design strategies that and assure the impact of those strategies. About the partnerships for transnational education, more partnerships and have those and create a network of partnerships and a census of partnerships can contribute to Mexico higher education agenda, because sometimes those partnerships are isolated, and if there are more like systemic partnerships, the impact could increase. And when saying impact, I would like to refer to the direct impact on the quality and also on the students' careers. And finally, that's that's all for me. Well, thank you. If you have any questions, you can send them. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brian, Jessica, and Rodrigo. It is fascinating, and there are quite a few questions, but I think we do have time. A ver, voy a ir dando lectura a algunas preguntas que nos hacen desde Facebook. Acerca de las carreras dirigidas al área de salud, ¿entran en algún programa de becas?
De becas. Bueno, yo puedo tomar esa pregunta. Algunos programas de salud sí entran al programa de Women in STEM Scholarships. Por ejemplo, yo conozco un estudiante que está estudiando ahorita y está estudiando algo como Health Management, Global Health Management. El tema es que tiene que tener, o sea, no puedes usar la beca para estudiar para hacer una doctora, por ejemplo. Pero, por ejemplo, Health Systems, Health Management, luego sí están incluidos en esas becas. Y las becas GREAT se depende cada año. Cada año hay instituciones diferentes y ellos propongan los campos de estudio que van a incluir en las becas. Entonces, se depende, pero las dos becas se tratan de una maestría de un año. Entonces, o sea, ninguno incluye, perdón por el ruido al fondo, pero ninguno incluye, por ejemplo, pues todos estudios para llegar a ser una doctora, por ejemplo, un doctor.
Muchas gracias. También preguntan, ¿cuáles son las becas participantes para universitarios? Me imagino que se refiere a becas de posgrado, ¿no? Si hay,
ok, pues esas dos becas que mencioné en la presentación, las dos son para estudios de nivel posgrado. Entonces sí, obviamente tienen como campos específicos, pero pues sí, los dos son para nivel posgrado.
Perfecto, o sea, la STEM y la GREAT, ¿no? Esas dos.
Exacto, sí.
Otra pregunta, ¿las becas pueden otorgarse si se cuenta con una beca de otras instituciones?
Buena pregunta. Yo sé que, por ejemplo, la beca de Women in STEM, en ese caso no se puede porque ya es una beca completa. O sea, ya paga todo lo que necesitarías pagar en un año. Entonces, para esta beca no se puede otorgar con otra beca. En el caso de las becas GREAT, la verdad es que no estoy 100% segura, pero creo que sí, porque las becas GREAT solo son una parte de la tuición, o sea, son 10,000 libras, entonces eso no va a pagar pues los estudios a nivel completo. Entonces yo creo que para ese sí se puede, pero tendría que checar esa pregunta.
O sea, es parcial, ¿no? Perfecto. Okay. Otra pregunta de Facebook. ¿Estos programas se realizan directamente con el British Council o a través de la UNAM? Esa la puedo responder yo. Son programas del British Council, pero a través de UNAM Reino Unido las estamos difundiendo y los podemos dar también, encaminar un poco previamente, pero son programas del British Council, ¿no? Ok. Otra pregunta. ¿Existen apoyos para carreras enfocadas a los negocios y demás áreas económicas?
Por lo que yo sé, no, pero sí, o sea, siempre está bien, o sea, cuando ya tienes identificado un programa en específico al que quieres aplicar, siempre está o sea, identifícalo con muchísima anticipación, o sea, digamos, si quieres entrar en septiembre del 2023, deberías ya estar buscando cuál es el curso que vas a querer tomar o al que vas a querer aplicar, porque luego las universidades sí tienen algunas becas a nivel global para varios programas, pero son pocas las becas y entonces necesitas mandar su solicitud para, tanto para el curso como la beca, con mucha anticipación. Entonces, eso sería mi consejo. O sea, por lo que yo conozco, no hay ninguna beca específicamente dirigida a negocios, pero pues sí, cada universidad luego sí tienen sus propias becas. Entonces, eso sería mi consejo.
Perfecto, perfecto. Sí, hace un momento que escuchábamos a Kimi de las becas Chivning, decía que una de las áreas más solicitadas era justamente negocios, pero no es que sea específicamente la beca para eso, ¿no? Perfecto. Alguien pregunta, quienes estamos en carreras de ciencias sociales, ¿somos contempladas para las becas de mujeres, para becas de mujeres en la ciencia? O sea, ¿ciencias sociales entra en STEM?
Creo que no, o sea, creo que sí son, o sea, es porque STEM es Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths. Entonces sí son más como en esos ámbitos, o sea, y no incluyen ciencias sociales.
Perdón, nada más agregar aquí que depende cada año de cómo, o sea, porque cada año las universidades proponen, además de las áreas generales, específicamente qué programas van a tener. En el caso de ciencias sociales, pero depende o sea, es muy específico. Hay nichos que combinan ciencias sociales como análisis económico, políticas públicas en temas de ciencia, por poner un ejemplo, ¿no? Pero, o sea, puede haber un mix una mezcla de ciencia, o sea, de ciencias sociales y una derivación hacia las áreas STEM. Entonces, bueno, para que en todo caso no se descarten, pero sí definitivamente el perfil tiene que ser enfocado hacia esas áreas, ¿no?
Perfecto, muchas gracias, Roberto. Ok. Luego otra dice, viendo la página, veo que hay cursos de idioma. ¿Existen becas para los cursos de idiomas? O sea, de inglés, más.
Brian, no sé si tú quieres tomar esa pregunta.
Pues desafortunadamente no, normalmente no tenemos becas para esos cursos. A veces depende si tenemos de acuerdo con un negocio, por ejemplo, hay unos como becas para empleados de este negocio, pero normalmente no tenemos como un sistema de becas abiertas para gente para aplicar. Es más como está explicando Jessica. En los dos como sistemas de becas que está dando la información.
Pero sí hay becas luego cada año hemos lanzado becas con Santander. O sea, no son becas para estudiar inglés aquí en el Teaching Center de México, pero son para cursos en línea de inglés y son junto con Santander. Entonces, si buscan becas Santander en inglés, no sé si ya cerró la convocatoria para este año, pero ahí sí, y son, o sea, es una cantidad impresionante, como 35,000 becas, pero para toda América Latina, digamos. O sea, son miles de becas, pero eso sí sería una beca para estudiar inglés, pero no sería, otra vez, en el Teaching Center sería un curso en línea.
Bueno, y sí mencionar que existe la plataforma Learn English del British Council, que es una plataforma gratuita donde existe material y guías. Y sea que estén tomando clases de inglés, o sea, ya en cualquier lugar, o pues tengan interés de aprender o a reforzar algunos conceptos de manera autodidacta, esta plataforma se puede ingresar. Y pues la verdad es que está toda, o sea, una estructura donde se puede aprender inglés, ¿no? O sea, y es abierta.
Excelente, muchas gracias. Bueno, ¿cuáles son las becas para nivel licenciatura? ahí es donde no sé si existan becas para licenciatura.
No, generalmente no existen para ese nivel. O sea, nuevamente lo que sí diría es que buscan o sea, con cada universidad, porque luego, ay, no me acuerdo la universidad, pero luego algunos, o sea, no son becas grandes, pero por ejemplo, algunas universidades luego ofrezcan un descuento de 2,000 libras, hasta creo que he visto hasta 5,000 libras, un descuento para el primer año de la colegiatura. Entonces, pero eso sí, otra vez es con cada universidad y son pocas las universidades que ofrezcan ese tipo de beca.
Sí, aquí yo me permitiría recomendarles buscar las becas de movilidad de la UNAM, ¿no? Porque son para un semestre de licenciatura y esas pueden ser interesantes, o bien las de la SEP, de Iniciación a la Investigación, que son becas para estancias más cortas, de entre 6 y 12 semanas, pero bueno, esas sí corresponden al nivel de licenciatura, ¿no? No suele ser común encontrar becas de licenciatura, más que siguiendo esta recomendación de Jessica, buscando en cada universidad. Puede que haya algún caso, pero no es lo generalizado. ¿Qué certificación de inglés piden para estas becas? ¿Cómo comprueban su nivel de inglés?
Sí, pues sería con lo que pide cada universidad. O sea, es porque lo que tiene, o sea, tienes que, o sea, acceder al curso, o sea, la universidad tiene que aceptar su solicitud para ese curso. Entonces, se depende un poco en cada universidad, pero, o sea, lo más común sería un IELTS. Entonces, y eso es también, hay algunos otros, o sea, creo que en algunos casos TOEFL está aceptado y los exámenes de Cambridge también, o sea, Cambridge Advanced, tal vez First, pero normalmente sí es Advanced. Pero sí, con IELTS están seguros. Pero sí, otra vez, sí, siento que ya es el consejo que voy a dar más ese día, pero sí tendrían que revisar con cada universidad. Pero cuando van aplicando las becas, o sea, van a decir como claramente, ok, pues tienes que tener tal nivel de inglés o tienes que tener como esa prueba de su nivel de inglés, o sea, estará descartado de manera clara en ese momento.
Perfecto. Muy bien. Alguien escribe, acabo de terminar mi carrera en enseñanza de inglés y estoy por titularme. ¿Hay algún programa que contemple mi área? Enseñanza de inglés, supongo como lengua extranjera, ¿no? Seguramente sí lo hay. Yo también diría, hay que revisar en cada universidad. No
Bueno,
sé si...
perdón, sí, aquí me gustaría mencionar, claro, acabas de terminar, ¿no? Pero, bueno, déjenme quién hace la pregunta, ¿no? Pero nosotros tenemos un programa que es en conjunto con la SEP, que es el programa de asistentes de idioma, o sea, que es un programa de movilidad. Entonces, en este caso está dirigido a docentes de inglés de instituciones públicas, pero bueno, existe este perfil, ¿no? Y la idea es que se van prácticamente 9 meses a Reino Unido como asistentes de idioma, a trabajar en una escuela, a tener una inmersión total en el idioma. Reciben una beca, un ingreso, o sea, es un apoyo por parte de la SEP y además por parte de la escuela receptora. Entonces, esto, bueno, pues es un programa que lleva ya, los programas más antiguos del British Council, lleva cerca de 30 años y bueno, pues es bastante amplio. Este año la movilidad va a ser de 25 beneficiarios, entonces, y cubre todo el país. Entonces, bueno, buscar, no sé en qué momento, o sea, pero vale la pena tenerlo en cuenta para, pues para irse preparando.
¿Cómo se llama este programa, Rodrigo? ¿Cómo lo pueden localizar?
Sí, claro. Este programa es programa de asistentes de idioma. O sea, programa de movilidad de asistentes de idioma. La SEP tiene varios convenios con varios países dependiendo del idioma, ¿no? Pero entonces lanzan varias convocatorias dependiendo del país. De hecho, se acaba de cerrar la convocatoria de este año. Bueno, lo siento, pero más o menos por estas fechas son la convocatoria. Entonces pueden consultar las bases y prepararse para hacer una buena aplicación.
Perfecto, excelente. Muchas gracias. Después preguntan, ¿existen apoyos para los que cumplieron el 100% de créditos? ¿Y qué áreas y carreras contempla? O sea, en la UNAM se pide a todas las licenciaturas cubrir los créditos y todavía no tienen el título, tienen que escribir una tesis, es lo que llamamos pasantes. Entonces esta persona está preguntando si hay becas para pasantes que todavía no tienen el título, el grado, ¿no?, de licenciatura, pero que pueden aspirar a algo.
Sí, por lo que yo sé, no he escuchado de ese tipo de beca o programa. No sé si Rodrigo o Brian tienen algo, pero por lo que yo sé, no.
No, y la lógica, solo aclarar, la lógica es que, o sea, y es un poco esta idea de por qué hacemos los acuerdos, por qué se busca generar este marco legal, es que luego son cuestiones muy específicas de la institución y pues es como volverlo internacional y entender, o sea, es complicado, ¿no? Entonces es una de las razones.
Sí, perfecto. Sí, nos quedan 5 minutos nada más. Aquí me permitiría yo complementar remitiendo a esta persona a la convocatoria de la SEP para iniciación a la investigación. A esa sí pueden entrar los pasantes, ¿no? Una última pregunta. Para los que estudian ciencias políticas y sociales como relaciones internacionales, entramos en la beca. Bueno, un poco ya se respondió esta pregunta. Supongo que se refieren otra vez a la beca STEM. A esa no entran. Pero bueno, muy bien. Perfecto. Pues no sé si quieran decir algunas palabras para concluir antes de despedirnos del público.
Well, just to say thank you very much for the opportunity today to speak to you all. It's been a great pleasure and honor for us to attend the call today. I hope it's been of use. I hope it's been interesting for those listening. So thank you very much. And if you do have any kind of further questions, feel free to contact us. In future, we'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Brian. Thank you, everybody, Jessica and Rodrigo, and everyone else who's here with us. Y bueno, entonces nos despedimos. Muchísimas gracias por su atención. Los esperamos el día de mañana, si es que me parece que esta es la última sesión del día, si no ahora me corregirán mis compañeras, para que sigan ustedes participando en la Semana Internacional. Y los invito, como siempre, a animarse a buscar una experiencia internacional. No se preocupen si al principio no entienden los requisitos de las becas. Justo ahí empieza a ampliarse la mente, ¿no? Cuando vemos que hay otras maneras de evaluar, otras maneras de ser pasante o titulado. O sea, todas esas inquietudes son ya una muestra de que hay otras cosas, ¿no? Que hay otra forma de ser, y ahí empiezan a ampliarse nuestras mentes. Me están indicando que todavía falta una sesión más de la UISU, de la Unidad Internacional de Sedes Universitarias. No se la pierdan, por favor. Todavía es temprano en México. En Londres ya es un poco más tarde. Pero entonces quédense a la sesión de la UISU. Es acerca de las universidades que tienen una sede dentro de la UNAM. La UNAM tiene una zona que es como unas pequeñas Naciones Unidas y es fantástica esa sesión. Bueno, pero concluimos con mucha alegría y mucho agradecimiento a los tres por estar con nosotros. Hasta luego.